Good afternoon. My name is Steve Rennie. This is my Ren Baron Learning to Fly YouTube channel. This is attempt number 2 to do a little flight streaming. I can tell you it's much easier flying a Cirrus than it is flying it on a simulator and then trying to do a live stream at the same time here. So, but that is the way it is. And so let's go in there and see if we can get everything working properly. First things first here, if you can hear me, let me make sure I got some sound here. If you are watching right here, gentlemen and ladies or whoever is here, you can see the chat room right there. I'm going to kind of be taking some questions here when I can. First thing I want to know, though, is if you're watching right now, can you actually hear me? Let's see if that's happening. Anybody can hear me? Because there's no concurrent viewers right now, it says. It says we're live, and there's our little chat room. All right, so if you can hear, I see we've got 4 concurrent viewers here. At least that's what it's telling me. So let me know if you can hear me. If not, that's okay too. Okay. Vertex flight symbol. Yep, we can hear you tonight. Okay, great. Congrats from Brazil. Juan Roca. Wow, nice to hear you coming in from Brazil. How about this internet, huh? You gotta love it. All right. Well, now that we know that that's happening here. I guess if you're in Brazil, you don't really know where San Luis Obispo is unless you've been to Southern California. Anyway, San Luis Obispo is a little bit north of California. For any of you guys that have been watching my video channel here over the last couple months, you know that my Cirrus, my beloved little Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, has been grounded. Had a little issue with a couple of our cylinders, and had a discussion about the warranty and so forth. My plane's under warranty. Anyway, we got all that sorted out now, and I've been told that those cylinders, if they haven't already arrived today, they are on their way, and I'm hoping to be back in my plane again here soon, and that would be just lovely because I haven't had a chance to actually get out flying. So today I'm going to show you folks how I use my simulator here to help me stay proficient while I'm on the ground here. And if you've seen the gas prices here in the United States, I don't know what they're like in Brazil or Edinburgh, Scotland. Oh my God, you're killing me here. Love you in Scotland. I'm a golfer here. If you watch my channel, you probably know that as well. And every time I hear somebody from Scotland, it just makes me want to go grab my clubs, which is what I'm going to do when I'm done here today. I'm going to go out to my little practice area here in the back and hit a few golf balls. But first things first, let's go fly to San Luis Obispo, better known as SLO around here in SoCal. So today, I'm going to show you the whole kit and caboodle. I'm going to take some questions at different points, probably when we get up in the air and so forth. So today what I want to do is just kind of break it down step by step, and this is really for me now. So if I don't talk to you here in the next few minutes or interact with you, forgive me here. We're going to use a couple of different tools to make all this happen today. First things first, we're going to use our trusty little iPad here. I'm going to also use a little tool called Pilot Edge, which gives you ATC in a box here to give you all that kind of interaction you like to have. And if you're an IFR pilot or you're training for your IFR rating, being able to interact with controllers in real time, be able to execute moves in a prompt and efficient and accurate manner is key to the whole process there. And so that is going to be part of the deal here. We are also going to be using our little flight info sheets that you've seen if you've watched some of the videos. I do a whole video on how I use a couple sheets here in the cockpit to help me. First is my flight info sheet, and then there is my takeoff briefing sheet. And then, of course, we will go over to X-Plane here when we get ready to go. Now, let me just see if I can see if this is going to work properly. Oh, there you go. This is my little flight simulator setup. A couple people have asked about it here, and it's pretty darn close to my cockpit setup. I have my trusty iPad in the corner. That would be attached to the window in my plane. I have my PFD and MFD with the Cirrus switch panel right there. That's all made by the fine folks at Real Sim Gear. This little Cirrus console that you see right here, I don't use much anymore because it's been replaced by this little
unit right here, which is the GCU unit, which is specific to a G6, and that's real sim gear. I also have, you can see it right here, my Cirrus flight throttle, flaps, and so forth. That is actually made by Noble Flight Sim Systems, as well as my Cirrus yoke there. Now, one of the things that I've tried to do to make this thing a little bit easier for me is the trickiest part about flying with a simulator is the visual. You know, your eyes move effortlessly when you're in a plane. When you're having to manipulate that view on a computer, it's a little bit tough. So I went out and got me this thing called a Stream Deck USB controller, and I pre-programmed a lot of the views and a lot of the different things you'll see here. So you'll see me, well, you won't see it, but you'll see it right now, me futzing around with all that stuff here. All right, so back to the
host here. Okay, that's my little guided tour of the cockpit. If you have some more questions on that stuff, I'd be happy to help you out. I've had a decent amount of experience now in the flight sim world, and I can tell you that if you get it right, it's an invaluable tool, and today I hope I'm going to demonstrate that for you today, because I literally haven't been in my plane for 2 months and 2 days now, and I'm freaking going nuts, to be honest with you. All right, let's go and start with our flight plan then. Okay, so let's go pull up our iPad. Love the iPad, love ForeFlight. I started flying about 5 years ago now, and I started really from the get-go. On my second or third flight, I ditched the old logbook and decided to go with the ForeFlight. I'm a big fan of all things Apple, big fan of technology. For an old guy, I'm very comfortable with all the new gadgets, and I can't imagine flying without an iPad in ForeFlight. It really takes all of the stuff that you would get in a Cirrus plane for $1 million and puts it on your iPad for, you know, maybe $700-800. So anyway, let's start with our flight plan. KSMO is our airport here in Santa Monica. We're going to put KSMO in there. KSBP is short for San Luis Obispo. So we're going to put that in there, okay? And the first thing you see is I get my little straightaway flight plan there. But I like to fly IFR. I enjoy the adult supervision of flying IFR. I look at the air traffic controllers is like my caddy in the sky. A great caddy would help a golfer navigate his way around a golf course, particularly in your fine Edinburgh, Scotland, where I had a chance to play Muirfield one day, Fraser. I had a great caddy out there. It took me a few holes to for us to kind of understand each other, but it worked out here. While we're looking here, look at the prices of gas fuel here, folks. Off the freaking charts. $6.89, $6.90, $6.80, $6.64. Woo! It's nuts. It's freaking nuts out there. Post the prices in your neighborhood. I'd be interested to see. Okay, so now that's the big picture of getting my flight plan together. The thing I like to use the most is a little off to the right-hand side. There's a button here called Routes, and what it does is it gives you the most frequently approved IFR routes over the last, I guess 30 days or something. So you can see right here, there are a number of routes that we could take. These are all IFR, by the way, flight routes that have been filed over the past few months here. Okay, we're going to be boring and take the most often cleared one, which is Ventura, San Marcos, and then MQO. And so we're going to take that one. We're going to pop that in there. I'm going to select the route. Okay, and that gives me my route. Let's change it to 10,000 feet. I don't want to have to mess with oxygen today. They're too not tailwind. Okay, so we got some winds at our back here, so that's good. So now there is our flight plan, part one of getting this whole thing together. So we're going to spend a little time on the ground here, folks, before we get going, because the time you spend down here on Mother Earth getting things together is time well spent, because if you don't get it together here, figuring it out on the fly up in the air, not recommended in general. Okay, so there's our flight plan. Now, normally you would see I would take this and I'd hit this little button to the left of the edit button you see highlighted, and I would send it over to my flight section of my ForeFlight, which we're going to do right here. And I would fill in a couple different pieces of information here that are specific. It's just going to be me, 190 pounds, no nothing in there. We're going to put the fuel. We're going to set our fuel at max 92, which is the maximum in our Cirrus. And what that's going to do is going to calculate a bunch of different things that we're going to use later in our flight info sheets and our takeoff briefing. Normally, I would go down to the bottom here and hit proceed to file, but I'm not going to do that today because I'm going to do something just a little bit different, but I'm going to come back and use all this information here in a second. So let's go back to the map here, and now part two of this whole equation here that makes this simulator experience pretty darn real in terms of that interaction, that valuable interaction between a pilot and an ATC guy. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to use this program called Pilot Edge. Okay, it's I think in Europe the equivalent of that this is VATSIM, I believe. $18 for fuel. Oh my God, down in Brazil. Whew. I've been to Brazil a few times, Juan Roca, and I just loved it, to be honest. But anyway, here, let's go. Stay on track here, Steve. Okay, we're going to file our flight plan now before I start reminiscing about Brazil, most of which I can't tell you about. Signing in right here. I'm going to sign in. It already knows who I am, so I'm going to go pop that in there. That's going to sign us in. Now, we are signed in successfully here on Pilot Edge. And so now the key part of this is we're going to file a flight plan here. Okay, so we're going to go IFR. Hopefully you'll be able to see all this. We're going to go on 768 Foxtrot Sierra. We are in SR22. Our equipment code is Golf. Our true airspeed is a $175. Our departure location is KSMO today. Let's go KSMO. Our arriving location is, okay, had KSBP. Let me get my keyboard. One of the few times I'll use the keyboard. KSBP. Okay, and now we're all set. Our cruising altitude is going to be 10,000 feet. Our altitude, let's make it KSBA, which is Santa Barbara. We'll fly right over the top of that. And now, so let's go put in our flight plan. So it's going to start with Ventura is going to be our first fix after Santa Monica. VTU. RZS is San Marcos, RZS, Romeo Zulu Sierra. And then we got MQO, and then San Luis Obispo. And now that's all set here. And now I'm just going to go file my flight plan. And now you can see up top here the flight plan is successfully filed. So now let's come back here to the hangar. And there's our flight plan laid out for us right here. Now, I'm going to come back over here to this flight section of for flight, and I'm going to show you what I do here. Okay, a couple of great pieces of information here. First, we're going to hit the little, if you see it off to the right, you have a section from a little bit down from the top of on the right hand side called departure, and there's that KSMO, and there's a little tab for info. So here's where I'm going to go and start filling in the blanks here on my flight info sheet, which you see over here. All right, so we're going to start with the top here. The date is August 15th. We're going to depart out of KSMO. We're going to Santa Barbara, or to San Luis Obispo. So what I want to get right now are the frequencies here. So I'm going to come over to the info tab here. Frequencies 11915 is our ATIS at Santa Monica. 120.1 is the tower, and 121.9 is our is ground, and our departure frequency is 125.2 typically for Santa Monica. Now I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to go for San Luis Obispo. Do the same thing. Here's our info. Our weather is going to be 120.6, which I've got written down here. 124.0 is our tower frequency, and 121.6 is our ground frequency in San Luis Obispo. Okay, so now I have all that information, and I am writing it right here on my little flight info sheet. Okay, that's the key information I want for right now. We'll get some more stuff when we actually get in the cockpit here, but that'll suffice it to say for right now. Now I'm going to start filling out my takeoff briefing as well. So I'm going to go back to Santa Monica here. You'll see up here in that little info sheet that the airport elevation is 170. Our best cap, or caps available, is 600 over that field elevation, so that'll be 770. The best caps is 2,000 feet over the ground. Plenty of time for the parachute to extend. Not enough time for you to blow out the Catalina here if there's a stiff wind going. Now, a couple other things you can get right here, and I'll get it. Let's go back to Santa Monica again, back here. The first thing you see is we got our ATIS information. Now, this ATIS information is pulled from the most recent one, so it's a good place to start here. So let's go. Our current wind speed is, we'll check it again against the ATIS, but 250 and 9, which means we'll be going on runway 21. Sky is clear. Altimeter is 2980. It's low. It's low out here today. Type of normal, we're going to do a normal takeoff based on those numbers here. We're going to be on runway 21. Our runway length is 3,500. How do we know that? We just go to runway right here on our. There it is, 3,500 by 150. Best wind is on 2-1, so we know we're going to be going on 2-1. Let's go back there again. So we're going to use, now I want to figure out how much runway am I going to use here before I get off the ground. So you can go through your Cirrus manual, not the worst idea in the world, but a better idea is to just go ahead and get the information off of here. And we're going to do that by going back up to the top of this thing, and we're going to click the takeoff information. So you can see right here, usable length of the runway and all that stuff, the weather we just talked about right there. Our takeoff weight is going to be well under max here. And right down here, you'll see that our ground roll is going to be 896 feet, which you can see down here under the performance listing here. And our ground roll is 896 feet. Our total distance to get to 50 feet off the ground is 1,314. We're going to be cruising at 10,000, and our time en route, which will go back up to the top here, back over here, and our time en route, as you can see, is 52 seconds. So there is all of the information that I have on my takeoff briefing here, and that's what I do every time I get in the plane, pretty much. And when I don't do that, bad shit happens always. Nothing, no killers yet, but you know, something stupid always happens when I don't go through the process here. Okay, let's see, what do we got? We got all that. Make sure I got all my stuff together here. So we're back to the map here. We filed our flight plan over on Pilot Edge. We've got that all done. We've got all our information right there. We've gone through and gotten our flight information and filled in that sheet, which you've seen. We filled in our takeoff briefing right there. So now I think we're ready to go. Let me just go quickly and see if there's any questions here in the chat room. Let's see, $4 a liter. Okay, oh, it's $4 a liter, and a liter is 3.79 liters to a gallon. So, wow, that's expensive. Juan, am I pronouncing your name right? I hope I'm doing that right, Juan. Okay, so let's get busy here now. So I think we've done everything we need to do. So now let's head on out to the airplane here and get started here. Okay, here we are out at the Santa Monica Airport here. There's my little beauty there. I'll give you a little quick view of, let's go back over here, cockpit views, and let's go back to the external, and there we are. And so now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you out to the right, give you a little quick tour of Santa Monica Airport here. We're going to be taxiing down this taxiway down to the end of runway 21, which is way down there at the end. Pretty good recreation of Santa Monica Airport. Across the way here is where my plane is sitting right now getting fixed. I can almost see it. I can certainly almost feel it. And then once we get down that runway, we're going to be taking off down the end of runway 21. We'll be making a right-hand turn up and around, and we might as well come back all the way around. So let's go back to our little plane, and let's come on up in there, and let's go rotate a little bit to the right, circle to the right. All righty. Let's open that door. Oops, that's the passenger. Let's get the pilot door open, and then let's get in the cockpit here and get started. Okay, there we go. first things first, we're going to put our keys in the ignition. That way they're easy to find. Now, a couple other pieces of information here that I'll want to put on my little flight info sheet here, okay? And it has to do with the very top section of this info sheet where I'm going to pick up my hobs, my engine hours, and my fuel on board, okay? So let's go back over here, get rid of, let's go back to our default view. Let's get rid of, oh gosh, darn it. All right, let's figure out how to get rid of the, okay, there we go, get rid of him. Oh gosh. All right, well, I'm going to be stuck with you here for a second. Let's go back. Nope, we don't want to do that. I'll get rid of him in 1 second. Watch this. Pilot. Gone. All right, there he is. Okay, so now we've got our keys where we can find. First things first, I'm going to go down here to my glove box view here. And I'm going to open the glove box. And I'm going to get some numbers down here. So we see 523.5 is our Hobbs starting point here. Our engine hours, as we can see down there, is 338.5. All right, and we'll pick up our fuel here in just a second. So now I'm going to close up the glove compartment. I'm going to come back up top here, and there we go. Okay, so now we're ready to go here, and I'm going to start this baby up and get flying here. Okay, a lot of setup there, folks, I know, but that's my routine here. I think we got everything right now, so let's fire this baby up. First things first, we're going to go bat 2, then bat 1. I'm going to shove mixture. Well, we'll just wait till this fire up. Okay, you can see everything's firing up nicely here. Okay, we're going to go enter, enter, enter over on the MFD. Let's go to full tabs here. It's probably, there's a little quirk in X-plane, so I'm just going to not worry about it right now here. And just go enter on that. So we got 62. All right, everything is set up properly. There's a pesky little warning light on the sim. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, and now we're going to start our little process here. Okay, everything is fired up here. Let's get our strobe on, let everybody know that we're getting ready to get out of Dodge here. First things first, I'm going to put the mixture forward, power forward, and then I'm going to go and click on this high boost pump for 4 seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,004. You can see we got a little fuel flow happening over there on the right. We're going to go back down to the throttle quadrant. We're going to pull our power back to 1/4 inch-ish. We're going to come back up to that default view. I'm going to take my keys and switch them around to both. Then I'm going to go back down to the throttle quadrant here for a second, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this boost, not the high boost, but the regular old boost, and then I'm going to get this baby fired up and turn it. As soon as I hear a little flow happening, I'm going to hit that ignition. So let's go. There it is. Let's go. Okay, we got a nice clean start there. Oh, I guess we should go outside here and check our rear view. Should we close the door? I think we should. You know, got to take care of business. Okay, Alt 1, Alt 2, avionics on. All that's good. All that stuff is firing up now. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come up close and start taking care of a little bit of business. First things first, I'm going to put in some frequencies. I like to have my frequencies that I use on the ground in COM2. So I'm going to start with 119.15, which we know was our ATIS for Santa Monica. There it is. I'm going to switch that over. Then I went 121.9. That's our ground frequency. And then up top, I went 120. What the heck is going on? 120.1. Let's go back the other way. Let's go 120.1. Okay, let's flip that over, and then we went 125.2. Okay, so now you probably noticed or heard that we have some something happening there on the radio, and that's the ATC stuff from Pilot Edge here. Can everybody hear that okay? Somebody just gave me a little tip in the chat room there. I'm kind of looking over my shoulder at the chat room. If you can hear the ATC stuff there. Everything good on the ATC? Somebody tell me. Talk to me. All right, don't talk to me. It's okay. Back to the cockpit here. Okay, so I've got that, so we know we've got some stuff happening. So let's go down here now, and I'm going to go back down to the throttle quadrant here, actually to the GCU here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit mic 2 here and switch over to comp 2. Okay, so we got alpha for Santa Monica. Let's get the rest of it. This is the actual ATC, or the ATIS. Okay, so we've got our ATIS there now, and it was pretty close to what we had on. It's pretty close to what we had on the ATIS that was reported in ForeFlight there. Okay, so you guys cannot hear. You're not hearing the audio on the ATC. Okay, that's not good. Okay, I'm going to push that up, and you guys tell me if you can hear it now when we go. All right, I'm gonna try to make this so that you can hear ATC, because that's an important part of it. Something's not right here, of course. Hello, Idaho. We're trying to hear our ATC here. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. That's something's not happening here properly. Okay, that's not right. Bear with me for 1 second here, folks. Another hoo-ha. Desktop audio. Hearing the engine now. Okay, that's good. Is it too loud? Okay, you're not hearing the engine anymore. Okay. Okay, Fraser, head to bed. I get you. It's late over there. Let's go one more time and just see what's going on here, folks. Bear with me 1 second here. Default. Okay, that one we got going here. Let's try again. Okay, do we have some ATC right now? I'm going to pull that down a little bit. Pull down. All right. All right, now, folks, let's see. Tell me, how do we sound here? Do we have some engine? I hear the prop. Is the prop too loud? Is it just right? And we should be hearing some ATC here shortly. I'm seeing some levels on my controller here. Amos Showroom says he can hear the prop. Can anybody hear ATC? Well, you should be able to hear them both, I think. All right, well, somebody let me know, and because now we're going to call up Santa Monica Tower here and see if they can hear us, and then we will find out how we're doing here. Okay, so let's go back to our flight plan. Oh, one final thing, we got to load our flight plan here on on our MFD or VTU. No, normally I would send that over by Bluetooth on my actual plane, RCS, San Marcos, then MQO, enter, and then KSBP, KSBP, enter. Okay, there's our flight plan is now loaded over there. We hear the prop, nobody's telling me whether we hear the audio, so let's just go and pop it over there and see. Santa Monica ground, Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra in Alpha 2 with Alpha. I'd like to pick up my IFR flight plan to San Luis Obispo, Kilo Sierra, Bravo Papa. Okay, we're cleared to San Luis Obispo on departure. We're going to fly runway heading to the LAX 315 radial, then we'll make a right turn to heading 250, then radar vectors for Ventura, 3000 to start, 10,000 and 10, 125.2 on departure, 6512 on the squawk, 85 knots here. Thank you, I'll program that and come back to you for taxi, thank you. Okay, so now let's go and program this sucker. Okay, let me come back and see if we can fix that ATC thing here again. Gosh, this is such a pain. First, let's program this stuff, and then we'll get the this stuff done. Okay, first things first, we're going to go over here to the COM. The transponder. We're going to click here on my actual Cirrus. It's a little bit different. We're going to go 6512. 6512. Okay, clear that. Backspace. Transponder. Wow, we got all kinds of issues happening here today. 6512. Okay, there it is. Okay, it's all set. Transponder. Okay, we got 6512. 6512. Okay, we're all set. Let's come back up top here, instruments. Okay, we're going to put in 125.2 up on top. On the frequency up here is actually in. We're going to put 3000 to start. 3000. We're going to set, we got to go over here on the MFD for a second and put in another fix, okay? They gave us LAX radial, so I got to put in LAX right there. And there it is, all right? Now we're going to set that as our active leg here. Okay, all right, so we got that. Okay, so we're all set. Got it, thank you. All right, that was my son there. Okay, so we've got all our information in there now. So here's what we're going to have to do, something a little bit interesting here. We've got to go and click on the course button here, and then we're going to take and put in 31315. Okay, we got to go over here on the MFD, or the PFD, and click OPS. We're going to put in course, and now we're going to put in 315 radial. Now, by the way, if you fly to Santa Monica, you don't have to do this anymore. You just go out to 1,000 feet and turn right to 250. Right now, I'm going to put in that 250 heading here. So now we've got all that stuff. Okay. All right. Okay, we're all set there. 280. We got 250. We got radar vectors. We've set the active runway heading 315. We're all set there. Okay, so now let me give one more go at this here. Okay. Are you guys still with me there on the chat here? So let's just go cockpit chat here. All right, there I am. Can you see me in there now? And I'm going to mess with a couple settings here, and you guys need to tell me what is happening. can hear the prop. Somebody said, can you hear the prop? Somebody tell me. Okay, I'm going to turn something down here. I'll have to watch it later. That's okay. I don't blame you. If anybody else is on there that's not shy, let's just see how many people we got. Okay, we got 80 in there, 9 concurrents. All right, so I need a little help here, sports fans. So if you can, somebody tell me, can you hear the prop right now? Just need, and you can hear the props. Okay, good. All right, thank you, Amish. Stay with me here for a second, Amish. You're my guy. Okay, now I'm going to mess with something here. I'm going to turn it and mute it. So you tell me, does the props go away or you still hear it? I've muted it. Now tell me, is the props gone away? Like I said, that flying the plane's a lot easier than flying the sim here, or messing with it. With streaming, I should just record these things and not mess with it here. Okay. Okay. You still hear the props? Yes or no? Yes, props. No props. We got a little 30-second delay here. Flaps. Okay, well, you can still hear the props. Is that yes on the props? Okay, good. Thank you. That means this one must be the one that's messed up here. So let's go here. Yeah, engine is good. Okay, good. So now let's see if we can fix the other one here. See if you can hear the same thing. Okay, so now check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, you're not hearing anything there. All right, I'm trying to figure out this ATC because it's important for you guys to hear that. If not, we'll just I'll give it a shot here and then we'll move on here in a second. All right, I'm going to go taxi down to, I'm going to call.
The 571 uniform vacating via Delta.
Look up for 571 uniform air taxi, hopper taxi via Echo. And
all right, now are you hearing the ATC now? Anybody hearing ATC? Amish, you're my guy, and the guy who said yes, another Tim. You don't have his name, but appreciate the help, gentlemen. We'll get off the ground here in a second. Did you hear the ATC? Are we hearing ATC? All right, I'm going to get rolling here. Got it now. Thank you for bearing with me, gentlemen. Let's get the heck out of freaking Dodge here, okay? Now, let's just go back to figure out how I get back to my default view here. Oh, no. Come on, Steve. Get rid of that. Okay. Okay, now we are ready to roll, so let's go. Okay, I want to thank you guys for hanging in there. So now let's go ahead and call taxi to runway 21. Santa Monica ground, Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, taxi 21.
Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, Santa Monica ground, runway 21, taxi via Alpha.
2-1 taxi via Alpha. Thank you, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, so now we're getting ready to taxi, so I'm going to go, we've gone through all our checklists here, so let me just get through them. Starting engines, we did all before taxiing. Flaps are up, radio avionics are set, cabin heat defrost, fuel selectors on the fullest tank, I believe. Let's go check that out and make sure we're on the fullest tank. Throttle quadrant. Let's go to our left tank now, we're good. All right, so now let's get taxiing, sports fans. Okay, we're going to go down to the GCU here, get rid of our brake right here, and now we are getting ready to go fly, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're going to pull out on 2-1 here. All right, so now we're going to go through our checklist here. Okay, so our parking brake is off, our brakes are good, HSI orientation is good, attitude gyro is good, turn coordinator is working fine, okay, good. Caps handle is good, seatbelt shoulder harness, air conditioner is off, fuel quantity check, fuel selectors on the fullest tank, fuel pump is in boost. Flaps, now we can hit those flaps, let's check it out, left, there's our flaps, okay, great, let's pull back our power limit. Screaming down here a little bit. Transponder is set 6512. Autopilot, we'll check all the rest of that up here in the run up here. Okay, we're rolling. Thank you guys for your patience, and I think you'll enjoy it much more when you're here in the ATC and all of that stuff. All right, so we're going to make a quick stop up here in the run up area. I'm going to go through the run up just like I would on a normal flight here.
Downwind clearance, Cessna 125 Victor Victor.
How are the levels on everything, gentlemen? Good?
Skyhawk 125 Victor Victor downwind clearance, cleared to the Palomar Airport. The Muscle 8 departure, radar vectors oceanside, and then direct. On maintain 5,000. 5,000 will be your final altitude. Departure frequency 128.1, squawk 5551.
Cleared to the Palomar Airport will be the Muscle 8 departure, radar vectors to oceanside, then as filed. Climb maintain 5,000, which is the final. Departure frequency 128.1 and squawk 5551.
Skyhawk 5 Victor Victor, actually after oceanside it is not as filed, it is direct Palomar after that, after oceanside direct Palomar.
Okay, oceanside then direct Palomar 5 Victor Victor.
Read that correct?
Okay, so we're coming up here on the run-up area. Yeah, I'm setting my altimeter 29 or 80. I didn't do that on the back over there. I was too worried about the ATC, but we're all good now. Now I can fly the plane here. Volume is good. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. All right, now over in the real airport in Santa Monica, the run-up area is on the left, not the right, but doesn't matter. We're just going to do a quick little run-up here and go through our routine. It's so important to get into a routine, and once I do get my plane back, I know I'm going to screw everything up, so I'm going to be working on this simulator this whole week, keeping tabs on how we're doing over there. All right, so let's stop this baby right now. Let's go down to the GC. We're going to pull out our brakes here, go back up to the flight plan here. Let's go to our instruments. All right, so now let's go through and take care of business here. Okay, so we're going to go first things first. Navigation radio is our set 125.2 on the departure frequency set. Tower is 120.1, so those are all, that's a check. Cabin heat defrost is good. We got our brakes are holding, and now we're going to go push up to 1700 and go through our instrument check here. Okay, so we got 1700 coming up on the MFD. Good there, there's 17-ish. It's a little sticky today. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and start checking our electrical. So what you should see over here on the right is some movement here. So we go nav 1. Nav's on. Strobe lights are on. Landing light, you see a little movement on all 1 there. Ice, you might see a little bit more movement. Nothing's happening here. Pitot heat will blow up at all 2, and it does. Now we want to check our mags. We're starting at 1730. We should see a little rise on the EGTs and a drop. So let's go. 1730 turns into a drop of 90, and the EGTs are rising, as you can see right here. That's good. Okay, we go reset it back there. Now we're going to go check out the right mag. So we go 17. We got a 40 drop there. EGTs are rising. That is all good. Back to both. Okay, that is good. And we'll pull our power back to 1,000. There we go. And then back to the map here in the checklist. Okay, power lever's good. Pitot heat, we checked all that. Let's turn them off. Pitot heat's off. Ice is off. Landing lights off right now. We don't need that pitot heat. Now, you notice we've checked. They're both within parameters. Flight instruments are set and check. Flight controls free and correct. Let's go take a look here. Let's go out to the rear view here, and you can see it. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, our rudder's working. Ailerons working. Elevator's working. That's all good. Back into the plane here. Okay, those are all good. Let's go check our trim. Excuse me. Trim is over here. We want to get that trim right in the middle there. You see off the wing. We'll get that aileron will move up a little bit, so the trim is now set. Let's come back inside. Let's check our autopilot here. Let's go into heading mode here, and you can see that the wings are turning there. Let's get rid of that. Autopilot. Now we're going to go wings level, which is I'm going to hit the underneath the throttle quadrant here. There's a little button underneath here. That's the takeoff go around button. So I like to set my takeoff go around. We've got our heading is set for 250, so that's all check. Now we're going to go normal takeoff. I know how to do a takeoff, so let's go get our climb checklist ready. Then let's go back to the flight plan. We've set LAX VTU is our, that is not right. Come up top here and get our active leg, which is LAX. KSMO LAX is now the active legs. That will become important because we've got OBS set from the get-go and to pick up that radial. Okay, so now we are ready. We're going to go and switch over to COM 1, and now we are going to get rid of our brake here, and we're going to taxi to 2-1 and tell them we're ready to roll. All right, back here. Excuse me. Alrighty, let's take a little rotate to the right and let's get rolling. Okay, here we are. Okay, we're on COM 2 here now. Let's go to switch over to COM 1. We're on COM 1. Let's come up top here. Santa Monica Tower, Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, holding short runway 21, ready for departure.
Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, Santa Monica Tower, runway 21 cleared for takeoff, wind 220 at 8.
221 clear for takeoff, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, now if we have an engine issue before we get to our caps, or before we get off the ground, we're going to pull the power, hit the brakes, and report the takeoff. If we have an engine issue before we get to 770, we're going to pitch for 92, mixture off, tanks off, throttle off, and land on the golf course ahead of us. We have an engine issue between 770 and 2170. We're going to pull the parachute, mixture off, tanks off, ignition off, and float straight ahead. That is our takeoff briefing. Let's put her on the center line here. There's 2-1. We're all set. Let's get her on the line there. All right. We got trim, flaps, mixture, boost is our final little check. Let's give it a little few power here. Okay, let's go. Keep our eyes down the runway now. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4. Let's keep her on the center line here.
San Luis Brown, Cessna 140 from 8, East Hangar, requesting IFR clearance.
Okay, we're off the ground. Flaps at 90. Trim it.
Sierra 768 Foxtrot Sierra, San Luis ground, clear to the Santa Maria Airport via the runway 29 departure procedure, Morro Bay VOR, and then direct. Climb and maintain 4,000. Departure frequency 124.15, squawk 2764.
Okay, we're up there. We're going to make
Sorry,
the...
is that for 14008?
Affirmative.
Alright, so 14008 is cleared to Santa Maria
When you get to
Airport
1,000 feet, I'm going to go to heading mode here.
Departure procedure, direct to Morro Bay, and then direct. Climb and maintain 4,000, frequency 124.15, and squawk 2764.
400, read back rack, break 768 Foxtrot Sierra, connect SoCal departure, we'll see ya.
SoCal departure, 85 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. SoCal departure, Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, 1,500, climbing 3.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, SoCal departure, ready to contact, climb and maintain 8,000, go direct Ventura.
Climb and maintain 8,000, direct Ventura, 85 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, let's get 8. 8 is set. Okay, let's go down to Ventura. Direct, enter, nav. Okay, so we got everything set. Direct Ventura, we want. Okay, let's go. Try to get rid of that nav. Direct Ventura. Let's go. Direct, enter, nav. Something's not right here today. That is not Ventura. Direct Ventura, nav. What is going on here? Ah, the joys of it all here. Okay, so let's go to Ventura. Let's go flight plan, direct Ventura, direct, enter. Nav. What is going on here? Alright, we're going to go old school here and just fly over to Ventura. That's Ventura over there. I don't know what the heck is going on here. But let's just get rid of flight director for a minute and just fly it. Okay, we're going over this way. Let's put a new waypoint in here. Yes. Enter. Okay, we're going to go and try that one. Direct, enter, nav. And it just wants to take me to somewhere I don't want to go. There we go. I think we're going to get Ventura. Clear. Okay. Direct, enter, nav. Okay, now we got something that's going screwy there. Well, good, good exercise in just dealing with shit here. Okay, now let's pick up our head. Somehow that first entry I put in there must have been something else. Got confused here. Okay, so now let's get our indicated airspeed of 120 again. Get climbing here again. It's funny, the simulator is kind of a pain in the ass, but sometimes when it does that stuff, it just kind of makes you deal with stuff, and that's a good thing. Keeping you sharp under fire here, multitasking and all of that. All right, so now we're going to 121, we're going to 8,000, we're going to direct Ventura now, finally. And we're going to go up and get her set for 120. There's our indicated airspeed. There's 120. Now I'm going to hit it on autopilot and take a break here. Alright, so now we're going to let the plane do some work here. Alright, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing over here on the iPad here. So let's go and go to cockpit iPad. Okay, there we are. I don't need to be in that picture, but there you can see what's going on with the iPad there. And I'm going to show you a little trick I do, which is I'm going to go to Ventura, I'm going to go direct to, and now my little flight path is direct to Ventura. What I like to do that is I like to keep everything going in the right direction. And so if you look on the map here now those two sync up. One thing I don't have over here on the MFD is that little glide ring which you see here on the iPad. Okay, that's invaluable stuff right there, because God forbid something were to happen, we would need to. It's helpful to have an idea of whether you can make an airport or not, or whether you're just looking for a flat spot to land. Okay, so that way, check your dash, which should tell you where to fly. Thank you, Connor. I figured out there's something little quirk in X-Plane. I had VTU, Ventura Victor Tango uniform in there, but somehow it showed me a heading of 147. So it took me a couple seconds to figure it out. What I did was enter VTU in again and then directed that one, and there we are. So computers are great until they don't work, and which happens from time to time. I drive a Tesla car, Model Y, it's my second Tesla, and I remember the first couple of times I had to hit the old reset button on the as I was driving on the Tesla, and it's a little disconcerting, but not the end of the world. Okay, so you see right here, we've got everything pretty much sorted out. I like to declutter my MFD. This MFD here on the simulator isn't quite as juicy as the one on the Cirrus, but good enough. Okay, let's go through our climb checks. Oxygen all done, airspeed's good, engine parameters are good right now. Let's go up to our cruise checklist. Now oxygen's not required here. Fuel pump is off. Cruise power is set. Now let me pull back our power at about 29.5 is where it should be on the simulator here. I'm going to pull back my mixture. We got a high fuel flow there. Let's get it back to 29.5-ish. It's tricky. There we go. Now if I get my fuel flow down to about 16.2-ish, I should get 75%, and pretty darn close at the moment. It's a little sticky there today. Okay, 16.2, and there's my 75 cruise power set. Mixture is done. Fuel flow is in balance here now. We switch over to my right tank here. We confirm on the right tank over here, and we are. Okay, back to our default view, and then back to the map. Okay. All right, so next, before we go back to the map, let's go set our next checklist, go to the next checklist, which is our descent checklist. Now back to the map. Okay, now we are set, and we're on track. Excuse me. It's always, great to get off to a good start when you're flying. When it gets squirrely out of the box, it really grabs your attention there, and not in a good way. Okay, so let me see. There's another little thing I've got going on here. Let's go and see if I can get to a regular. This is not. Okay, there we are. Okay, so now we're all set. And we're just flying along here. So you may have inserted a waypoint. Okay, props volume lowered a tad bit. You want to hear the props down a little bit lower, somebody says. Okay, so let's see if we can do that. Make sure I do it right here. I don't want to screw something up here. Okay, so we're going to take the props down just a hair. Okay, I lowered them a little bit. You guys can tell me how that sounds.
Sierra contact LA Center 135.5.
135.5, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Okay, so we'll come up close here. Let's come back down here.
SoCal departure.
135.5 is LA Center.
125 Victor SoCal departure, ready contact, clear direct ocean side, maintain 5,000.
Direct ocean side, maintain 5,000, 5 Victor Victor.
135.5. Okay, there's 5. Okay, switch it over. LA Center, Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, level 8,000.
768 Sierra, LA Command Center, climb maintain 1010,000.
Climb maintain 1010,000, 8 Foxtrot Sierra. Okay, so we're going to enter in 10,000 on our altitude select. We're going to go down here to the throttle quadrant. We're going to give it, actually before we go down to the throttle quadrant, we're going to come down here to the GCU. I'm going to go and hit indicated airspeed. We're going to go up top and I'm going to set that to 120, which is going to move that nose up. Then I'm going to give it full mixture, full power, and we're going to climb. There we are, over the beautiful Pacific Ocean, coming up on Ventura. On top of this little hill you see here is the VOR. Straight in front of us is Point Naval Air Station. You got Camarillo Airport off to the right, and a little bit further up, Oxnard. Okay, we're coming up. Let's get our 29.5. This flight model that we're flying here today is a little bit different than my Cirrus Gen 6, which is this flight model here is a turbo normalized. I've never flown a turbo normalized. So on my plane, I'd be 30.5 full power, full mixture all the way till we get to our altitude. Here, it's a little bit different. You got to kind of get it back to 29.5-ish. Coming up on 10. All right, so once we come up on 10, let's go put our pitot heat on. I'll let it speed up to about close to 150. Then I'll pull my power back, then I'll set my mixture. So let's let her speed up a little bit. You can come up close here and you can see. Let's go. Let's go close up. All right, so we're coming up. You see we got 140. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back to about 29.5 on the manifold pressure here. It would be 30.5 in my, that's a little too much there. There we go. Now I'm going to pull my mixture back to about, okay, there we go, about 16.1-ish. That manifold pressure is kind of a moving target here at the moment. There we go, 16.2, 16.1. There's our magic number. Now we got 75% power, and now the plane is turning for San Marcos. All right, so everything is going as planned here now. Now let's go ahead and flip in the, let's go. All right, so now we got everything going properly here, and sound is good, I hope, everybody, and we got everything working properly here now. All right, so there's our iPad over here, and you can see right here, we're just past Ventura, we're over Port Hueneme, Camarillo is off to our right. And everything is looking good. Okay, so let's go take a peek out the window here. Let's go right. If you look down on the right there, you can't see it right now. We've got the left, beautiful Pacific Ocean here. sync up our heading. All right, thanks, Amish. Okay, quick question for all you folks. Let's do a little chatting right here while we got some time here. Here we are. Yeah, I'll get me out of the picture on the next. I'm trying to figure out some of this stuff on the fly here. Questions here? Any questions for you? I got a question for you guys. How many of you folks are Cirrus pilots? Actually contemplating a Cirrus, and also how many of you are instrument-rated pilots? I'm interested to know. Amish's got 200 hours in the Cirrus instrument rated. Terrific. What a great little plane for flying IFR, huh, Amish? Where are you from, Amish? You probably told me already. Just scroll up here and see what you got. All right, we're killing a little time. All right. All right, Amish, you didn't tell me where you're from. That would be nice. Any other Cirrus pilots in here? Minnesota, all right. Got a brother who lives in Minnesota. Minnesota. Let's see, there's beautiful Ventura coastline right there. Greg Eller, SR20 pilot, 50 hours in G3 instrument rated, great. I love my little Cirrus. Miss flying it, like I can't even begin to tell you how much I miss flying it at the moment, but that's the nature of the beast, I guess. All right, got to explain here. All right, back in the house here, and let's just see what we got. Flight plan, looking good. Okay, so now here's a little something that I like to do in the actual G6. If you've actually get rid of it. In the actual Cirrus G6 with Perspective Plus Avionics, there's a great little feature where you can load all of the frequencies automatically. One of the things I like to do once I've got off the ground and I'm ready to roll here is I like to get ahead of the game here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter my frequencies for San Luis Obispo. 120.6 is the first one I'm going to be interested in. That's my ATIS, obviously. We're all using instrument-rated pilots, nothing new.
08, Center departure, roger, radar contact. You said you wanted the ILS 12?
1240. Okay, so those are our two
you can expect that.
for, let's go over here, for San Luis Obispo. And I like to get those loaded ahead of time because then what I'm going to do is just to give myself a little reminder of when I'm within ATIS, so I'll just put COM2.
4400, cross Morro Bay, enter above 4,000, cleared ILS runway 12 approach.
I'll put us in COM2 there and start monitoring. And that way when it comes up, that's my reminder to get busy. So in the meantime, though, let's do this. In the meantime, let's go over to our iPad, use that iPad, which I love using. Okay, there's our iPad. And let's go, do we have a big picture? And what I'm going to do is on the iPad, I'm going to go click on KSBP up here ahead. And we're going to do a little cheating on the weather. Okay, so we're going to go KSBP, the weather showing 300 at 9 knots. Sky's clear. Okay, so 300 is not a big deal. Let's check the runways here. That's looking runway 29, which is the typical runway in there, which probably looking at 2.9. Okay, I can start to cheat ahead on my little flight info sheet where I put all this information again. And so I'll start putting in some of the weather here, and then obviously we'll check it when it comes in here. So we've got weather is looking to be 309 knots, which is not horrible. Our altimeter there is going to be 2983, which is not too much different than what we've got in Santa Monica. We're going to go up to our controller here because he should have given me a frequency change by now. Actually, he's doing LA Center, so they skipped the skip point with you. All right, so we're just cruising along here. Okay, checklist. Let's go over to our checklist here. One of the things that I like to do sometimes when I'm just messing around here is to go through the emergency checklist. Okay, so let's go to the in-flight emergency procedures. Engine failure on takeoff. We don't care about that. We're already in the ground. We're up here right now. Engine air start. Engine partial power loss. Smoking, fire, engine fire and flight, wing fire and flight, cabin fire and flight. I'm going to do a couple of these soon. Do a little, some of these emergency checklists where you actually have to do some stuff here and get it together quickly. That's the one we're all afraid of, is the engine failure in flight. I saw a terrific video today.
Get out 300 Pop Sierra, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 left, good for takeoff.
Quebec 31 left, 30 Pop Sierra.
I saw a great video today of a pilot in a Cirrus, or not Cirrus, a Cessna 205 stationaire.
Advise on initial contact. You have
Off right now. Who had an engine failure and had it all captured on video, and a guy made it look easy. You should check it out. It's just posted up there. It's a Cessna 205 emergency landing with video. Did an unbelievable job. He literally laid it right on the center line at the airport up there, this up in the Bay Area.
125 Victor.
And it was a great.
Are you direct Oceanside right now?
A great example of staying cool under fire here. And this guy just laid it right in there, got it off the runway. And
Contact approach 119.6.
All right, so here we are. We're just moving along here. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can cheat a little bit here. And you'll probably notice I'm going to speed this up just a hair, so it's almost dinner time. I'm going to get rolling here. Okay, we got 28 minutes normal time. We've got, how far do we have to RQS? We got 12 miles. We'll get to San Marcos, and then we'll speed it up. All right, so we're coasting along here. This is all good. Let's take a look out the right.
125 Victor Victor, SoCal approach, roger information. Romeo is current, advising you have Romeo, descend and file discretion, maintain 3,000.
All right, so we've got the, let's get the weather now for San Luis Obispo. We're almost there.
clear. Temperature 22, dew point 13, altimeter 29, array 3. Arriving and departing runway 29er. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Sierra.
Okay, so we got
San Luis
Sierra.
County.
Okay, we got Sierra. All right, so let's go back down to 124.0. We've got that now, so we're going to flip tower into active, and we're going to put 121.6 in there, which is ground frequency, and then we'll come back to our default view. Ocean off to the left there.
300 Papa Sierra. SoCal departure.
All right, so I'm going to load a procedure here
maintain
now.
10,000.
All right, so let's go ahead and put in our
Victor Victor, direct Palomar Airport, advising you at the airport side.
here's what we've got. So let's go up here and load a, take a look at some different plates here. We're going to go do a binder here. Add a flight binder. KSMO San Luis Obispo.
0 Papa 0, clear direct Soggy.
With the RNAV GPS
resume navigation, climb maintain 12000.
Bang out of there. Okay. Okay, so you can see our plate in here for the RNAV GPS to runway 29. So I'm going to take care of a little business here again on my flight info sheet. I'm going to go down to the section down there that's marked approach, and I'm going to start entering some information here.
0 Papa 0, contact LA Center 126.35.
Our runway is 29, obviously. Our approach course on this one is 290. Our initial approach fix, our final approach fix is Cavally. And we want to be at 2,400 feet at Cavally. Our minimums here on the LPV.
Sanjay Center 393 to the Papa Sierra is 10 past 12 address of 12000. Routing direct Foggy.
300 Papa 0, listen to the climb maintain final 230.
Okay, so we've got all that information set up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the procedure button. I'm going to select an approach. Load the RNAV 29 GPS LPV, and our approach, it's going to be our best approach fix here.
5756 Quebec, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb will maintain 5000.
Our best initial approach fix is going to be KDAB, I believe. So let's go KDAB, enter. We want to fly course rule. No, we do not want to fly course rule. So KDAB. Minimums are going to be on. Let's go. We got to put this in here. We'll scroll 7, 8, 31. Okay, we're turning to. Okay, we're all loaded our approach now. Let's go to our flight plan. So we're not actually going to go to MQO. Usually we don't go to that one. Okay, so I think we're going to take KDAB as our initial approach fix. Okay, let's see where we're going here. We got our airport diagram here as well. Okay, there's our approach. And we're all set and ready to go now.
7, correction, November 56 Quebec, flighting 330, contact approach 134.2. For 0 Papa 0, contact LA Center 133.2.
1332, 0 Papa Sierra.
For 5 Victor, clear visual approach 24, contact Palomar Tower 118.6.
Sanjay Center, Galaxy November 3, 0 Papa Sierra 15 fast, final with 230.
300 Papa Sierra, LA Center, climb maintain, final 310.
I'm saying 210, 0 Papa Sierra.
For 5756 Quebec, SoCal approach, roger.
We're going to flip our
Climb
tanks
maintain
over.
7,000. 1400, contact Santa Maria Tower 118.3. Maria Foxtrot 0 to Santa Files, discretion, maintain 6,000. St. Louis altimeter 28983.
2983 descend and maintain 6,000 with pilot's discretion. Okay, so we're going to go vertical speed down there right now. Let's just go leisure. We don't need to go crazy here. LA Center, Cirrus 768 Foxtrot here. Will I be doing the approach with you or the next one?
Ray Foxtrot, I'll be the next controller, and you can call them now, 124.15, the Santa Barbara approach.
124.15 from Santa Barbara approach. Thanks, Phil. Okay, so let's go to 124.15, enter. Let's go over there. Santa Barbara approach, Cirrus 768, Foxtrot Sierra 9,800, descending 6,000. I'm looking for the RNAV 29 at San Luis Obispo, and I'd like to start at KDAB if possible.
November 768, Foxtrot Sierra, Santa Barbara approach, Roger, clear at KDAB. Cross KDAB at 4,000, cleared RNAV runway 29 approach. Quebec, clear direct darts, join Victor 186.
Let's go ahead and set
direct darts, join Victor 186.
taking us down to 4,000 here. Top of the sentence, 424. Well, we're already descending, so let's just go direct, VDAP direct. Please keep your mic closer. Thank you, Greg. I need a little help here. I need a little caddying there. Sorry, I was talking to myself here. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Here's what I was talking, some chatting up there. Let's see what we've got. Looking good here now. Let's see if there's anybody else I missed. All right. So let's go back to our flight plan here again. Let's get that up here. 4,000, we got time to bottom descent in 7 minutes and 57 seconds. We're going to be crossing 4,000 at KDAP is our plan. We're heading downhill, so we got some good speed happening right now, 160 knots, clear air. Everything's looking pretty tame at the moment. Hamish, let's go up top and get a little, hang on. All right, Hamish showroom, what's your favorite altitude out there in California? Well, it depends on where I'm going, Hamish. If I'm flying up north to Lake Tahoe or for any real distance, I'll put the oxygen on and fly 16, 18,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. On a short flight like this, you know, for me, you know, I start to need the altitude somewhere around 12,000, even though technically it's not required. It just, my system just gets a little fuzzy. So when I'm looking to avoid that, I just, you know, leave it at 10,000, which is what I'm flying today. So if I were flying up to San Jose, or if I was flying up to Carmel or San Francisco, or, you know, or Santa Cruz, somewhere in those neighborhoods, I'd probably fly 14, 16,000, put on the oxygen and take advantage of the thinner air. But in general, if it's just a quickie, shorty, 10,000 works really nice, and 10,000 keeps you over most of the mountains, you know, around here. There's ones underneath us right here. I think if you live in California, you'd probably call those hills, you know, big hills, but, you know, get up to Lake Tahoe, those are mountains. All right, let's go back into the plane here, see how we're doing. Okay, I've gently sped this thing up a little bit, if you notice here. And so we're coming down here. We're about 14 miles from KDAB. And it looks like we're going to make it on time there to 4,000, and then we'll just swing it on in. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the instruments here. We're going direct KDAB. KDAB is our initial approach fix. GPV is our GPS approach with LPV. That's active and armed, as you can see down here on the GCU. We've got the approaches armed. Flying autopilot, everything is looking good. 1.6 speed right now, so I should probably slow this baby down here in a second. Now, obviously, you can't do that in a real Cirrus, but on the simulator, if you're just practicing, trying to get to an approach and all that stuff, it makes it a little bit easier. Now, I know it's hot all the way around the country these days, and it's about 88 degrees out here, so I feel like, you know, flipping that. Let's put it on here. Turn it on our air, get a little air blowing in this cockpit here. All right, I'm gonna get through our speeds there. All right, there we're back to normal speed now. Now he's gonna slip me over to tower and say, let's sync up our heading here. We've got 5.9 miles to KDAB, and then we're gonna make our turn for home here. There's our plane coming in here now on the. See right here, our plane is starting to show up on the iPad. I just love everything about the ForeFlight and the iPad. Just the best. Okay, so we're closing on KDAB. We need to be at 4 at KDAB. Okay, actually we got to get good down there. Let's go 4,000. Did we just have another little screw set up there? Now something else is not working here. All right, let's get her off this autopilot. Just get this baby going down.
Motion 0, contact San Luis Tower 124.0.
1240, 85 shots here. Okay, so we got to get down big time. All right, so we are dive bombing in here to be at KDAB at 4,000.
5756, Quebec, contact SoCal approach 135.4. 35.4, 550. SoCal approach 45756, Quebec, checking in at 7,000. Positive 56, Quebec, SoCal approach, roger. The arterial altimeter is 2978, expect higher in the vicinity of Nickel. 978, I'll expect higher, 56.
Okay, there's our 4. We're going to get to 4. Okay, let's go back on autopilot. Correct, enter nav. On Halden now. We want 2900 at Halden. 2900. Get all the rest of the stuff in order here again. Seconds. Should start tipping down here. And there it is. We got VNAV is picked up again. Okay, we're heading to Halda. Okay, we're all set again. All kinds of weird stuff happening, but again, good stuff to have. Be able to sort it all out on the fly here. Okay, so we're coming in, we're at 3,400. Okay, now let's start pulling some power here. Let's get our speed under control here. Let's go to our checklist here. Descent checklist, altimeter is set 2983. Let's get that set. 2983. Cabin 8 landing light is on. Let's get the landing light on. Fuel system is on the fullest tank. Let's go to the right tank here now. Mixture's good. Oxygen is good. Before landing, let's get our mixture going up here a little bit now. Okay, it's lining us up now. Getting our mixture set there. Mixture is full now. Let's get our power back. Quirk of X-plane right there. Okay, now we've got Cavali's our final approach fix. We're going to be 120 there. Let's get back to the flight plan on the map here. We've got 410, so we're going to get there just fine. Let's get our flaps in there. 120. All good. Down here. Okay, we've got the runway in sight here. San Luis Obispo Towers. San Luis Obispo Tower, Cirrus 124 is the tower. Switch that over. San Luis Obispo Tower, Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, inbound on the RNAV 29.
Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, San Luis Tower, wind 290 at 9er, runway 29er, clear to land.
29er, clear to land, 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you. Okay, we're all set. We're on the right tank, mixture's full, everything's good. Our missed approach is going to be to 4,100 feet, so let's get 4,100 feet in on our. We're on the glide path now. Okay, plane's doing its thing. It's got to manage the power down here now. Our field elevation is 212. We're looking good. Got 100 knots here roughly, which is good. Got it lined up perfectly, got good speed. You can see on the screen there that are on the MFD, coming in on a close-up, we're starting to get our pathways in there, which I love. Coming up on tub, then the missed approach fix. Okay, we're on 2 mile final here. Last notch of flaps in there, hold that nose down. That plane wants to jump up on the Cirrus when you get that those flaps in there. Let's pull back a little bit of power here now. Okay, starting to level out here nicely. 2.3 to the missed approach. We have 2 reds, 2 whites.
Ready for clearance. Good afternoon, Takeoff 93, looking to pick up IFR to Las Vegas via Charlie.
Skyhawk 9281 Lima, Burbank clearance, cleared to the Las Vegas airport. Van 93 departure, Daggett transition, and then a final. Plan to maintain 4,000, expect 10,010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 134.2.
Okay, let's
squawk 35 to 65.
Flaps are in. Autopilot off. It's flatter.
Airport on departure flight level 93. Departure, Daggett transition to ask file. Contact 4,000, expect 10,010 minutes after. First frequency 134.2, squawk 3565.
9281 Lima, you read back clearance to Los Angeles Airport. Are we going to Los Angeles or Las Vegas today?
I was just seeing if you were manufacturing. Oh yeah, it's the Las Vegas. Go.
That's your readback is correct.
Alright, so we're getting our eyes down the runway.
Teacher at CU departing to the southwest, 4,500 VFR. Good information, Pablo.
8748 Long Beach ground, runway 26 left, taxi via Foxtrot.
26 left via Foxtrot, 87 right.
Gunway Tower 645 Tango Bravo holding short 20 right 8 kilo ready for takeoff.
Alright, put it right in there, it's good.
645 Tango Bravo, Gunway Tower, runway 20 right at kilo, clear for takeoff.
20 right 8 kilo, clear for takeoff 645 Tango Bravo.
Santa Barbara clearance delivery, Cessna 738 Yankee Zulu. Request flight following to Burbank. We're Cessna 172 at 7,500 with Zulu, and this is for the CAT 8.
Skyhawk 738 Yankee Zulu, Santa Barbara clearance on departure, fly runway heading. Maintain VFR at or below 3,000 until advised. Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 3040.
73 Yankee Zulu, fly runway heading 3,000, squawk 3040, and departure is 120.55.
Skyhawk 8 Yankee Zulu, readback correct.
San Luis Obispo Tower, Cirrus 768 Foxtrot Sierra, clear 29.
768 Foxtrot Sierra, taxi parking via Alpha, remain this frequency.
Taxi parking via Alpha 8 Foxtrot Sierra, thank you.
From on the ground, good evening, Baron, 737 Whiskey Tango, IFR San Bernardino.
645 Tango Bravo, contact departure.
Contact departure 645 Tango Bravo.
And actually, before you go, where are you navigating to? What heading are you flying?
330.
Don't know where you got 330 from. The Anaheim 1 departure was your clearance, which should be a heading of 222 and expecting radar vectors.
605 Tango Bravo, I missed that clearance. I can vector back to 222 if I could.
Yeah, fly heading 222. That's what you were assigned in the departure.
605 Tango Bravo.
Alrighty, then we're back here on the ground. Okay, flaps are up. Let's get our trim set here again.
Now let's see, system didn't like your route. Stand by.
Okay. View, let's go check everything. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the throttle quadrant. We're going to turn off the fuel pump. We're going to come back up top. We're going to cycle. And now we're going to come back down.
737 Whiskey Tango, the San Diego Papa 20 routes for J&M aircraft.
well,
Those are the turbojets and turboprop aircraft.
Okay, we're going to come down to
I think you're a
glove box.
Q type in the Baron.
Glove box views.
So it'll
Open
be
it up.
the
Get
San
our
Diego
final
Papa
numbers
19er
here.
tech group for you. Do you need the full route, or can I just give it to you as the San Diego Papa 19er route?
4.8.
You do the 19er route, that'll be fine.
339.2 is our engine.
737 Whiskey Tango, clear to the San Bernardino Airport via the runway 27 departure procedure, Robin intersection.
And let's come up close here, and we've got
San Diego
fuel on
Papa 19er tech route.
We've got 45 gallons left here. Okay, great. I put all of that information
6,000 minutes after departure.
Here.
Departure frequency 119.6 and squawk 1654.
On my sheet. Okay, and then we'll go back into the cockpit here for a second, and we're going to turn all these off here. So we got boom, 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 boom. There we have it. And then let's go back into the to the hangar here. All right, that is it for today, folks. I want to thank you for joining me on today's flight. Trim with 3 pushes forward after each. What's your favorite? Trim with 3 pushes forward after each notch of flaps. Okay, that's I'm gonna see how that works out here. Wild on 2SV log. I want to thank you guys for joining me here today. My name is Steve Rennie. I am the Ren Baron, and this is my Ren Baron Learning to Fly YouTube channel. See you again soon.